WRWL TV YouTube. Coming up next, RWL Southwest Championship Wrestling. The following professional wrestling exhibition requires discretionary viewer participation.
Alright fans, good evening and welcome to this edition of RWL Southwest. My name's Don Hickson. I'm joined in the booth by Hangman Tex Lynch, the general manager of RWL Snarl. And tonight, just me and Tex in the booth, a smaller, more personal crowd, and a terrific lineup of RWL mat action on tap this evening, Tex?
You got it, Dandy Don. Good evening, folks. How's everybody doing tonight? Oh, yes, it is a terrific lineup. Going to be a terrific main event, too. Brock Lesnar, back again. This time facing the excellence of execution, Bret the Hitman Hart, and his ongoing onslaught against the Hart Foundation. Stay around, our first match is coming up in just a minute.
We begin the festivities this evening with cruiserweight competition, Tex.
Yes, we do. Yes, the hell we do. The lightning fast Tony Dangerous, joined by Mighty Molly at ringside of the Legion of Liberty, set to face the current trendy cruiserweight du jour, Santos Escobar. Love that Mexican music. Also gonna be a great starter.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to RWL Southwest Championship Wrestling. Our first match tonight, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Statinopolis, weighing 192 pounds, the lightning fast, Tony Dangerous.
The lightning fast one, professional wrestler, superhero, comic book entrepreneur, all rolled into one. The lightning fast Tony Dangerous, accompanied by his Legion of Liberty stablemate Mighty Molly, who along with the Hurricane constitute the current three members of the Legion of Liberty, as instituted and established by Tony Dangerous.
Low lightning fast one. Yeah, he kind of lost out on that last opportunity for the Cruiserweight Championship, but he'll be back to pester Gary Galaxy again one day. It's like Batman and the Joker, man.
Well, the lightning fast one, merely awaiting the arrival of Santos Escobar as he makes his way down here.
And his opponent, from Mexico City, weighing 200 pounds, here is Santos Escobar.
He's been kind of off and on, Dandy Don, but when he's been on, he's been especially good. Santos Escobar, when he's at peak performance, performs at peak. Man, he's actually pretty impressive. Definitely going to shake up the cruiserweight thing lately with the new arrivals like himself and Nathan Fraser. But tonight, Santos Escobar locking it up with the lightning fast one, RWL's resident superhero. And well, I'm down the middle with this one. I love Tony Dangerous, Don.
Well, of course, you guys are going back such a long way.
No, we're best of friends. But Santos Escobar, he's kind of unpredictable. And, well, not to put too fine a point on it, I really would love to see Tony Dangerous pick up the win here. But I've got my... Oh, now. Huh. Okay.
Certainly some pretty raunchy crowds here in Mexico City, and they know all the English words.
Yes, they do. The lightning fast one and Santos Escobar ready to start things off. Tonight's Southwest. Here we go. The referee sounds the bell. Away we go. Tony Dangerous with a right and a left and a body shot and a double shot to Escobar. Comes off the ropes. Flying crossbody and down goes Santos Escobar. Much to the delight of Mighty Molly. There's a stomp to the midsection. Tony Dangerous puts in the boots to Santos Escobar in the early goings here. He's just looking for a spot where to put the boots next. He counters with a kick. Escobar back up on his feet, locks it up with Tony Dangerous. Tony Dangerous rounded up over the shoulders of Escobar. Look at this. Oh, man. Nasty way to deliver a leg scissor stomp. Santos Escobar with a kick to the midsection of Tony Dangerous. Rounds him up over the shoulders and the crucifix. A submission here, the gory stretch. The referee keeping an eye on things. Tony Dangerous counters with an elbow and an arm drag. Santos Escobar stands up slowly. Tony Dangerous with a kick. He puts on the brace, delivers an elbow to the leg of Tony Dangerous. The lightning fast one with the upper hand. Whips Escobar to the ropes into a perfect power slam. Nicely done by Tony Dangerous. Here's a cover and a hook of the leg. Still a little bit too early for that. The lightning fast one rounded up by Santos Escobar. Hard whip to the ropes. Here comes Tony Dangerous all the way up. Flapjack face first into the canvas. Escobar covers and hooks the leg. One. Oh, man, just the one. Tony Dangerous still hanging on. It's still early days yet. Only a 10-minute time limit. Escobar charges. Misses it. Whoa, Tony Dangerous sidesteps him. Gets a hold. Kick to the midsection. Tony Dangerous rebounds off the ropes. Whoa! Whoa! What a corkscrew neckbreaker from the lightning fast one. Tony Dangerous with a kick to the midsection. Escobar winds him up. He's going to take him walkies. All the way up off the top turnbuckle. Beautiful Japanese arm drag from the lightning fast one. There's a kick right to the face of Santos Escobar. Tony Dangerous comes off the ropes. Flying crossbody. And Tony Dangerous is certainly keeping Santos Escobar busy. He gets stood up. Tony Dangerous with a chop across the chest. Drapes the leg over the middle rope. Decides to play a little game of tug-of-war with Santos Escobar. And Escobar has yet to mount any kind of credible offense, really. Look at this. Tony Dangerous into that tilt-a-whirl armbar. Escobar finds his way out. Charges into a hurricane run, and Tony Dangerous goes flying. Tony Dangerous goes to the outside. And whoa, look out! Look at that, whoa! Santos Escobar coming through the rope, shoulder tackle, taking Tony Dangerous down to the floor. Escobar continues to press the attack on the outside with the referee counting. There's a leg drop across the throat of the lightning fast one. A stomp to the face. Tony Dangerous catches a leg drop to the side of the head from Santos Escobar, the referee counting. And for the first time, the lightning fast one on the defensive in this matchup on the outside with Santos Escobar really going to work on him. Escobar rounds up Tony Dangerous. Gets a hold on him, rolls him back inside the ring. Tony Dangerous slowly rolls up to a standing position. Escobar on the apron. Tony Dangerous too late to do anything about it. Delivers a chop, a kick. An elbow to the face of Santos Escobar. Escobar retaliates back with a set of shots, gets countered with a hip toss from Tony Dangerous. The lightning fast one with a stomp to the face of Santos Escobar. Escobar caught in the heel hook stretch. Tony Dangerous slowing the pace down just a little bit here. For him, that's amazing. He doesn't slow down for much of anything. There's a headbutt to the lower abdomen of Santos Escobar, and I do mean lower.
He'll be singing soprano for a minute.
Back into the heel hook stretch one more time from the lightning fast one on Santos Escobar. Escobar definitely going to be favoring that left leg, especially if he keeps it up the way he's going. Oh, okay. He's trying to snap that thing off like an Abbott and Costello skit. Oh, man. The lightning fast one comes off the middle rope, flying crossbody to Santos Escobar. Down he goes again. And one more time, the tides have turned, this time towards our resident superhero. Snap mare. And a drop kick to the side of the head of Santos Escobar. Escobar gets himself stood up near the corner. There's a kick from Tony. Tony Dangerous counter by Escobar. There's an elbow to the face, a right, a chop, another right spins him around, and look at this inverted Hurricane Rana dropping Tony Dangerous on the top of his head. Escobar covers again, one. Only a one that time. Man, Tony Dangerous takes a licking and keeps on ticking.
Here we go over. Oh, there was a sit-out powerbomb with a pin.
But only a two that time. Tony Dangerous needs to get it back in the game here. He's in trouble. Santos Escobar pressing the attack. Flying crossbody off the top with some serious hang time on it. Mighty Molly looking more than a little bit worried as Santos Escobar starts to press the attack, and he's rallying the fans here in Mexico City. Tony Dangerous catches a kick to the back from Santos Escobar, followed up with another one. Escobar steps over, rebounds off the ropes, leg drop across the throat of the lightning fast one. Tony Dangerous rounded up by Escobar. Oh, man. Knees into the midsection of the lightning fast. Tony Dangerous rolls to the outside. Santos Escobar back in control again. Over the top rope, flying crossbody. Whoa, no. Talk about abrupt. The lightning fast one counters the whip, gets Escobar back in the ring first. Tony Dangerous up the top. Oh, damn. Beautiful Hurricane Rana from Tony Dangerous. Double boot stomp into the midsection of Santos Escobar. Escobar rounded up again. The lightning fast one counters with elbows, preventing Escobar from getting the upper hand. Kick to the midsection. The lightning fast one sets it up. Dangerous measures right there. Escobar folded over like a pretzel. Here's a cover from Tony. 1, 2. And it's still not enough. Escobar getting the shoulder up. Man, he's going to have to drop a transmission on his head or something. Tony Dangerous from the top. Beautiful frog splash here. Here's a cover from Tony. 1, 2. Jog it up, take it on home. Tony Dangerous picking up the win by pinfall over Santos Escobar.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of the match, 6 minutes and 48 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, lightning fast Tony Dangerous.
Well, the lightning fast one living up to the name once more and snatching away a win from Santos Escobar. How about it, Tex?
I knew he could do it. All right, that's our first match down. We still got a whole lot more coming up. Stick around. More Southwest coming up in a minute. All right, Don, coming up next. This one's going to be a real good one. I'm looking forward to this one myself. Check it out. AJ Hawk of the Toxic Tables getting set to go one-on-one against Ken Kennedy of the Ferentino Group.
Oh, that sounds suspiciously like a Myron Schimmelman punishment match.
That's exactly what it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, this next match is scheduled for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, representing the Toxic Table, hometown height and weight undisclosed, here is AJ Hawk.
Oh, AJ Hawk, or Timo Sammartino as he's known around here, certainly can run the ropes impressively.
Yeah, but that ain't going to get him girls or winning matches.
Canada!
And his opponent, accompanied by Matthew James Ferentino, from Green Bay, Wisconsin, weighing 246 pounds, Ken Kennedy.
Well, Tex, the last time we saw Ken Kennedy, looked like his career might be sidelined for a couple of weeks. Him and Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid, practically annihilating one another in their last match, ending in a double countout with both men unable to even stand.
Yep, and the rematch is signed for this Saturday at Small. But Ken Kennedy, all patched up and ready to go back to work. Happy, much to the delight of MJ Ferentino, and he's going to try his luck tonight against a different opponent. Well, it's a tune-up for Shawn Michaels this Saturday, but I'm sure Ken Kennedy's up to the task.
More to the point, I think Myron Schimmelman believes that AJ Hawk is under-equipped to face Ken Kennedy, and probably that would be the entire point of this matchup.
Well, knowing Myron as we do, that could be true. We can't prove it. We don't have any definite concrete proof, but we know Myron. And the serious sound. Oh, man.
We can't help it. Myron's a lot of fun.
He sure as hell is. All right, Mr. AJ Hawk, let's see what he makes out of Ken Kennedy and vice versa. All right, referee Willie Johnson rings the bell and away we go. Kennedy opens up with a set of rights, a left, and a spinning clothesline, oh man, he's going for the pin right away. 1. Just a 1. Well, would have been cool, but never seems to work out. Ken Kennedy rounds up AJ Hawk. There's a kick to the midsection, clubbing overhand right and a stomp to the back of AJ Hawk.
Oh, Kennedy's not wasting any time at all.
None whatsoever. Off the top elbow, right across the chest of AJ Hawk. And Ken Kennedy looking supremely confident right about now.
AJ Hawk's going to have to get it together hot, quick, and in a hurry.
On the outside apron, using the ropes to get stood up. Ken Kennedy right there to greet him. There's a hard right hand. AJ Hawk counters with a right of his own, gets himself back inside the ring. Ken Kennedy gets a hold of him. There's a neck breaker. From Kennedy to Hawk. On knee right to the chest. From Ken Kennedy. as one of his better acquisitions, MJ Ferrantino. He just surprised everybody with picking him up.
I certainly wasn't expecting it. Nobody was.
AJ Hawk whips Ken Kennedy up to the outside apron. Hauls him back inside the ring. Decides not to go on the outside. Kennedy whipped to the corner. AJ Hawk moves in on him. Takes the leg over the rope. Delivers the kick to the calf. Ken Kennedy staggers out of the corner. AJ Hawk's got him up over the shoulders and deposits him headfirst into the turnbuckle again. Ken Kennedy, alley-oop out of the corner by AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk takes himself to the top far right turnbuckle. That's a hell of a distance, and he made it. Elbow right across the chest. Another pin attempt from AJ Hawk. 1, 2.
Oh no, not again. Not this time.
Kennedy, very resilient. He can take a lot of punishment. Up over the shoulder of AJ Hawk goes Ken Kennedy into a power slam. AJ Hawk in control of Ken Kennedy and the match at the present time.
Really taking his time about it.
Well, he should. Got to keep Ken Kennedy down on the mat. Ken Kennedy catches a flipping headbutt. Wow, okay. AJ Hawk, every once in a while, shows this spark of brilliance that impresses the hell out of me.
Well, that is what Myron says. But he still doesn't care for them. Ever since they associated themselves with Scott Bell.
There's some wrist clutch elbows to the head of AJ Hawk. And down he goes. Ken Kennedy takes himself to the top turnbuckle, changes his mind on the high-risk maneuver, gets a hold of Hawk instead, front cradle, takes a walk with him cross town, and hangs him up off the top rope. Down he goes. A stomp to the midsection of AJ Hawk. Now some hard lefts to the side of the head from Ken Kennedy. Working the crowd here tonight, and, well, they seem to be on his side, too. Kennedy with a vicious rake of the back to AJ Hawk. Hawk counters with shots to the midsection of Ken Kennedy. AJ Hawk with the hard Irish whip to the ropes. The duck under from AJ Hawk. The leapfrog. Here comes Kennedy. And whoa, he took a hell of a shot right there. Here's another pin attempt from AJ Hawk. 1, 2. Just a 2.
He's going to have to do something really special. Nothing else seems to be working.
Clothesline sends Kennedy spinning. That should have been good for something. Kennedy spins out of it, delivers a clothesline of his own, follows it up with a second one. AJ Hawk back up on his feet, catches a third one. But up into the corner goes AJ Hawk. Ken Kennedy with a headlock punch. Hawk staggers out. Kennedy catches him from behind in the rear waist lock. Rounds him up over the shoulder into the fireman's carry, takes a walk with him, and boom! Pays him back with the same coin. Snake eyes on the top turnbuckle. Ken Kennedy steps out, steps back in. What is going on? He's enthusiastic about something.
Can't seem to make up his mind exactly what he wants to do.
AJ Hawk comes out over the top, catches a couple of chops from Ken Kennedy, and a cravat suplex. Sends him flying towards the ramp. Ken Kennedy moves in on him. Willie Johnson already well into the count. And away we go. AJ Hawk pitched towards the barricades by Ken Kennedy. Oh, man, Kennedy's riled up, huh? Oh, man. Ken Kennedy snaps the leg on AJ Hawk. The ref continuing the count as Ken Kennedy continues to administer the punishment to AJ Hawk on the outside, taking his sweet time about it.
He's certainly no fool. Knows exactly what he's doing.
He sure as hell does. AJ Hawk is laid out. He did the job and he did it right. Kennedy rolls himself back inside the ring. He looks pretty sure about it. Referee continuing to count AJ Hawk. Kennedy on the top turnbuckle. Are you kidding me? Shut up. He misses it by a country mile.
Whoops.
Ken Kennedy gonna pay for that mistake. AJ Hawk has him up for a long, stalling vertical suplex. Oh, into a jackhammer. Out there on the floor. Ow, man. Well, Ken Kennedy certainly paid for that mistake. AJ Hawk. Oh, damn, with a forearm right across the bridge of the nose. Liked it so much he's gonna do it again. Damn. Huh. A.J. Hawk rounds up Ken Kennedy, gets him back inside the ring. Now finally some order restored here. And this match is run a little bit on the long side. A set of shots from Kennedy. A spin kick takes A.J. Hawk down to the canvas. Ken Kennedy indicating to the fans that I'm all right. Don't nobody worry about me. Kick to the back of A.J. Hawk. As he staggers towards the corner, there's a stomp to the chest. There's a second one. There's a third one. Ken Kennedy appears to be done fooling around. MJ Ferrantino watching real quiet. Just minding his P's and Q's. Letting Ken Kennedy do the job. There's a stomp to the midsection on A.J. Hawk. A set of forearms right to the side of the head. A.J. Hawk laid out face down. Ken Kennedy covers and hooks the leg here. 1, 2, 3. Wrap it up and take it on home. Ken Kennedy picking up the win on A.J. Hawk by pinfall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of the match, 6 minutes and 55 seconds. Your winner, Ken Kennedy.
Well, it certainly wasn't a cakewalk. It wasn't a walk in the park. It wasn't a squash. But Ken Kennedy getting the 1, 2, 3 on A.J. Hawk this evening to pick up another win for himself, and the Ferrantino group will be back with more RWL Southwest in just a minute. One of the wonderful things that happens during these tours is occasionally we'll get to see some of the local talent from these foreign lands, and such is the case this evening as ladies double champion Brenda Blair gets set to lock it up against local Mexican star Madame Culebra.
That means Madam Snakes to those of you who flunked foundational Spanish.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following non-title contest set for one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first from San Jose, California. She's the reigning Joyce Grable Memorial Champion and the reigning Ladies Southern Champion. Please welcome Brenda Blair.
From struggling in obscurity to major superstar in a mere 18 months, Brenda Blair, look at the confident smile on that young lady as she yokes both titles, the Joyce Grable Memorial and the Ladies Southern. Brenda Blair has been radioactive, hotter than plutonium in the palm of your hand.
She sure as hell has, and that she has definitely been a major find, a major signing for the MJ Ferrantino group. Well, sir, she's pretty popular, but there are people who have some objections to Brenda Blair and some of the things she does, but it doesn't seem to bother her. It just seems to roll water off the duck's back.
She should stop kissing Wally Cardell on camera. Mrs. Cardell does not appreciate it. By the way, how's she getting along with Danielle?
Like Yakko Warner and Milton Berle, they don't get along.
And her opponent from Jalisco, Mexico, please welcome Madame Culebra.
Well, damn, A+ for an original costume, Dandy Don.
Well, Tex, here's one you probably wouldn't have seen on one of the national shows like Snarl or Rage. Madame Culebra, a local star here in Mexico City, a title holder of several championships within the independent circuit around here. Currently not holding one right now, but she is something of a big deal here in Mexico City. And tonight, going one-on-one in an impulse signing practically against an RWL Ladies Double Champion and Brenda Blair, as I understand it from Myron Schimmelman. Brenda signs this match practically sight unseen.
Yeah, she's been real well behaved since last Snarl. I think she had 6 months to live or something.
One thing is sure, no matter what's going on, Brenda Blair, wow.
Yeah, I love when she does that. All right, well, here we go. Off to the races, the bell sounds. Brenda tags Madame Culebra with a right. She comes off the ropes, gets her with the ankles, and there's the Hurricane Rana. And Brenda Blair goes for a ride at the hands of Madame Culebra. Slam face first into the canvas. Brenda Blair catching a stomp from Madame Culebra. Rounds up Brenda. Brenda with a quick chop surprises her. Gets a hold on Culebra, whips her to the corner, misses the splash. Madame Culebra slipping out of the way pretty quick.
Snake-like, yes.
Over the top, there's a hard right to Brenda, a second hard right, and a third that finally takes her down to the floor. Madame Culebra all the way up off the top. Whoa! Double boot stomp from 10 feet up toward Brenda Blair's insides. The moonsault missed as Brenda quickly sidesteps her. Brenda Blair gets a hold on Madame Culebras, drives her into the ring steps. The referee already counting. For those of you wondering, that is junior referee Nils Hamilton. He's going to be new around here this fall. Brenda Blair already putting him to work. Trying to keep her back from Madame Culebras. There's a jab, there's a left, there's a chop. Brenda Blair rounds her up for a power bomb. Madame Culebras goes for a ride. Here's a cover from Brenda. 1, 2. Yeah, she has been something else, huh? A regular fountain of generosity since last Saturday, and nobody seems to know why. Sleeper hold on Madame Culebras. Countered with a jawjacker, Brenda Blair. Brought down to one knee by Madame Culebras, who gets a hold on Brenda. When she ain't looking, takes a walk with her, lines her up to the ropes. There's a chop across the chest. The leg draped over the rope, little game of tug of war. Using the ropes for leverage, Madame Culebras appears to be capable of bending a rule or two here. Into the corner, Brenda Blair counters again, gets out of the corner. Madame Culebras catches a knee right to the head. Brenda gets her by the wrist, picks her right back up again. Brenda Blair takes her right back down again. It's Windsor knot time. He's got her all tied up, and here comes the kick to the keister. Kaboom, and there it is. Brenda Blair has one of her little bit of a showmanship kind of thing. Here she comes off the top, elbow right across the chest of Madame Culebras. They cover in a hook of the leg. 1, 2. Well, no. Madame Culebras not prepared to go down with the ship quite so soon. And there's Brenda Blair doing that little bit that she does, shaking what her mama gave her. There's a couple of hard rights, a left. Brenda Blair with a belly-to-belly German suplex. Out to the floor goes Madame Culebras. Brenda Blair about to go high risk. Culebras slowly stands up. It's Air Blair time, and missed the DDT. That was a big mistake.
She's going to wind up paying for it, too, on the outside, with Madame Culebras taking advantage of the situation.
Brenda pitched towards the timekeeper's area. Madame Culebras makes her way back inside the ring. A little bit of arrogance from the Mexican star, who is now undoing the turnbuckle. Yeah, she can bend a ruler, 6. She misses her move. Brenda Blair drops her into the steel chest first, and there's a kick to the face, too. There's a jab. Here we go.
They're going to start duking it out. Don't know how good she's going to be at this against Brenda Blair.
He's inviting her to bring it. He's not the least bit afraid of Madame Culebras, huh? Now, there's another hard shot from Madame Culebras. Drives Brenda Blair back with a hard shot. I guess that settles that dispute. Head first into the turnbuckle goes Brenda. Madame Culebras has her up. There's the body slam. Culebras going for the cover. The referee still distracted with the turnbuckle. Brenda Blair got time to get the shoulder up. Now. This one's been pretty good so far. This Madame Culebras. Don't know if we'll ever see her again after tonight, but she is pretty good.
Well, so far so good. She's giving Brenda Blair a run for her money.
Slam face first into the canvas goes Brenda. As Madame Culebras makes her way to the top here. Here we go. Misses the double boot stomp that time. Brenda Blair back up on her feet. Gets a hold on Madame Culebras. Hard Irish whip to the ropes. Brenda ducks under. Rubs the knee right into the head of Madame Culebras. Trying to get herself back up quick, but it's too late. Brenda Blair already there. There it is. Kaboom. The RKO, the jumping neck breaker, whatever you want to call it. There's the cover, the hook of the leg. 1, 2, 3, and I knew when she nailed that move down, it was all over. Brenda Blair picking up the win by pinfall over Madame Culebras.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of the match, 5 minutes and 6 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Brenda Blair.
You can blame it on the nighttime, you can blame it on whoever, but Brenda Blair picking up another pinfall win against Mexican star Madame Culebras tonight. We'll be back with more RWL Southwest in just a minute. Well, Tex, we're in for a treat. Back-to-back ladies matches. More's the pity Christy Ogilvy isn't here. Because coming up next is going to be Rossi Flowers, accompanied by El Jefe Ray Guns, facing Brooklyn Von Brown, accompanied by Josie Jane of Team Brooklyn.
That's awesome. Rossi's been improving by leaps and bounds lately.
The following ladies singles match, one fall with a 10-minute time limit. Introducing first, accompanied by El Jefe Ray Guns from Caracas, Venezuela, currently residing in New York City. Here is Rossi Flowers.
Well, at Mr. Ringside, Eddie Guns taking vacation with Dynamite Jeannie Parker, the women's world champion. That leaves El Jefe Ray Guns in charge of the Guns family dynasty, at least for the present. And this evening, he's casting the role of manager to Rossi Flowers once again in this singles matchup.
Yeah, Don, she's won her last two. Now she'd like to win this third one against Brooklyn Von Brown, and if she does, well, these people are going to have to sit up and take notice of Rossi Flowers finally. After months and months of trial and error, and El Jefe pushing her pretty hard to keep training and keep it in practice, she's definitely starting to improve significantly. It'll be a terrific matchup here between her and Brooklyn Von Brown.
I think Rossi Flowers might be able to pick up a win here.
I think so too. We'll just have to wait and see how it all plays out.
Her opponent, accompanied by Josie Jane from Troy, New York. Here is America's hero, Brooklyn Von Brown.
Brooklyn Von Brown in a single tonight. After a tag team matchup with her partnered up with patriotic Pam Parsons and taking a loss to Las Reinas, Josie Jane and Lisa Rivera. But tonight, Brooklyn, one-on-one against Rossi Flowers, should be a terrific matchup, Dandy Don.
I think so too. Brooklyn Von Brown, terrific in singles action and tag team competition. Josie Jane, nice to see her back in circulation again. All right, well, Brooklyn Von Brown and Pam Parsons did not fare well against Las Reinas. Let's see how Brooklyn does against Rossi in single competition, Tex.
Sounds like a plan. All right, Willie Johnson rings the bell. The ladies come center ring. There's a chop from Brooklyn Von Brown. A right, another chop. Rossi puts on the brakes, delivers a right to Brooklyn. Brooklyn Von Brown, whip to the corner. Rossi, look at this, hung up and oh, damn.
Whoa, oh man, Brooklyn Von Brown was not expecting that. She looked like she was going to get into a counter and got suckered.
Head first into the middle turnbuckle too. Rossi with a hard right. Couple of shots to Brooklyn Von Brown. She counters with an elbow to the leg, spins her around. She counters with another elbow to Brooklyn Von Brown. El Jefe Ray Guns keeping a close eye on Rossi Flowers, who tags Brooklyn Von Brown with a right in the corner. Drapes the leg over the rope. There's a calf kick to Brooklyn Von Brown. America's hero counters with a right to Rossi. Comes up off the top moonsault. Takes her down to the canvas.
That was sudden.
Yeah, sure was. Rossi whipped to the ropes by Brooklyn Von Brown into a back body drop. Brooklyn with an elbow right to the top of the dome. Followed up with a stomp to the midsection. Brooklyn Von Brown starting to put them together here. Draws the knee into the arm of Rossi. Rossi rounded up to a seated position by Brooklyn Von Brown, who's taking her time twisting the head and neck area of Rossi Flowers. El Jefe looking a little bit miffed.
Oh, I would be too.
Rossi Flowers on the apron. Brooklyn Von Brown joins her, tags her with a right until the floor she goes. And Brooklyn just slides right back inside the ring. All the way up on the top turnbuckle here. Rossi on one knee on the outside. Here comes Brooklyn, double axe handle right across the top of the head of Rossi Flowers. Rossi gets the knee slammed into the floor on the outside. She rolls back up to a standing position, gets a hold of Brooklyn Von Brown, and almost drives her into El Jefe Ray Guns. Luthez press and she bit her. Oh man, she bit her.
Yeah, she certainly did. Whoa, she bit her again. Talk about George Romero zombie style.
That's definitely what it was. Straight out of Dawn of the Dead. Oh, Rossi Flowers Escorts Brooklyn Von Brown back inside the ring. Brooklyn Von Brown goes behind on Rossi. There's a headlock. There's a headlock punch to Rossi. Takes her down to the canvas. Rossi Flowers gets the arm snapped by Brooklyn Von Brown. A little bit of a handstand there. A little bit of athleticism from America's hero, Brooklyn Von Brown. Brooklyn flips Rossi over. Drives the elbow into the leg. Tries for the stomp, but gets countered with a kick. Rossi Flowers back up on her feet, gets a hold of Brooklyn Von Brown, drives her into the far left corner, and sets her up again for the... Oh, man! That looks absolutely so painful. Wow. Brooklyn Von Brown catches a moonsault after being driven into that middle turnbuckle. One. Oh, man. I would have thought that would have about done it, Don. Well, so would I, but Brooklyn Von Brown still hanging on. There's a forearm from Rossi. Brooklyn rolls to the outside, comes back in on a reset. Locks it up with Rossi Flowers. Hard Irish whip to the ropes. There's a kitchen sink knee to the midsection of Rossi Flowers. Rossi rounded up again by Brooklyn Von Brown. There's an arm snap. America's hero. Rounded up by Rossi into a dragon screw, a quick counter. Rossi watching Brooklyn get stood up near the corner. There's a body shot. There's an elbow counter from Brooklyn Von Brown. Gets a hold of Rossi. Walks her to the corner. Smashes her head into the turnbuckle right in front of El Jefe. She counters. Slams Brooklyn into the corner. Brooklyn hauled out of the corner. Rounded up for a scoop slam by Rossi Flowers. Rossi takes herself up to the middle rope. Here she comes. Ooh! Man! That was impactful. Here's a cover from Rossi. 1, 2. That's gonna about do it. Rossi Flowers picking up the win over Brooklyn Von Brown by pinfall.
The time of the match, 4 minutes and 22 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Rossi Flowers.
Our main event in just a moment. Well, folks, in our main event, if you saw what happened to Jim the Anvil Neidhart after RWL Rage the other night, you'll understand why we're here. Bret the Hitman Hart, the excellence of execution, set to face Brock Lesnar, looking for a bit of retaliation and retribution for Jim the Anvil Neidhart and British Bulldog.
Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's main event is set for one fall with a 15-minute time limit. Introducing first, from Calgary, Alberta, Canada, weighing 235 pounds, the excellence of execution, Bret the Hitman Hart.
Well, if you're looking for a headline main event text, you need look no further than the excellence of execution, Bret the Hitman Hart. The head of the Hart Foundation, the captain of the team, now finally stepping in against Brock Lesnar now that he has taken down the British Bulldog Davey Boy Smith and most recently Jim the Anvil Neidhart, and that one exploded into a post-match brawl after Jim the Anvil Neidhart picked up the win over Brock Lesnar.
Yep, and Bret the Hitman Hart. Yeah, this is going to be a rough ride for him. Well done. Here comes the pain.
And his opponent from Minneapolis, Minnesota, weighing 312 pounds, he is the Beast incarnate, Brock Lesnar.
You must have spent a great deal of time around Cass to get that so perfect.
Not really, no. Oh, man, Don, since this guy made it into the Legends division, just about a month ago, he has been tearing up everything in sight. Yeah, well, he lost his very first one against Andre the Giant, and, well, we kind of figured that was going to be an inauspicious start to Brock Lesnar, but he has been on a tear ever since. And he's whipped on some major names, including every single body in the Hart Foundation. Well, with the exception of Natalya, obviously.
Well, yeah, obviously, with her exception, certainly.
But Brock Lesnar, looking to take on the captain of the team, like you pointed out, the best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be, and yada yada, etc. and so forth. This is going to be a great main event match, Dandy Don. Really looking forward to it. Man, but Brock Lesnar, who knows where it's going to go from here? Just seems like he's just been out to take down everybody that shows up. He's got to go somewhere at some point.
That would be the question. What are Brock Lesnar's future intentions? That is really the question at hand.
Yeah, there's no way somebody comes in like gangbusters like that and doesn't have an agenda. Well, I guess we'll find out in the fullness of time, Dandy Don. Referee sounds the bell. Here we go. Lesnar charges, locks it up with the Hitman. The Hitman catches a back body drop from Brock Lesnar. Lesnar rounds up the Hitman by the ankle. He counters with an enziguri. Takes Lesnar face first down to the mat. Bret the Hitman Hart with a knee to the head of Brock Lesnar. A stomp to the midsection. The Hitman starting to put them together quick. Brock Lesnar on the canvas needs to keep him down there. Keep him off his vertical base. Already too late. He's already stood up again. Bret the Hitman Hart gets him by the trunks. Nice vertical suplex from the Hitman. Bret Hart goes behind on Lesnar. He counters with a hip toss. Bret the Hitman Hart. He's on the canvas, and Brock Lesnar's going to lay into him, beating his head against the mat. Follows that up with a stomp. Bret the Hitman Hart rounded up by Brock Lesnar. Takes a series of body shots. Brock Lesnar counter. There's a shot to the midsection from Bret the Hitman Hart. The Hitman catching elbows to the midsection from Brock Lesnar. He staggers back a few steps, quickly taken down by Brock Lesnar. The Hitman back in trouble again. Brock Lesnar sets it up. He's got him up. Wow, nasty powerbomb. Bret the Hitman Hart flipped over by Lesnar. The knee driven into the canvas. Brock goes for the cover, hooks the leg. 1, 2. But no dice. A little bit early yet for all that. Bret the Hitman Hart rounded up again by Brock Lesnar. Bret back in with driving knees into the midsection. The Hitman rolls to the outside. Lesnar right parallel with him. Belly to belly, slam down to the canvas. Bret quickly back up. Crossbody takes Lesnar down to the floor. Oh, man. Oh, there's an uppercut. Bret the Hitman Hart starting to go to work on Lesnar on the outside with the referee counting.
Well, he's got to do something. Brock Lesnar's had the advantage for the early goings of this match.
Yeah, he's starting to retaliate all right. The Hitman misses the dropkick. Brock Lesnar takes him down with a clothesline. Lesnar rounds up Bret the Hitman Hart into a seated position. Starts to go to work on the head and neck, but Bret the Hitman Hart up to one knee. Counters with a shot. Gets Brock Lesnar loosened up. Oh, kick to the midsection from the Hitman. Knee to the midsection from Brock Lesnar. Oh, he's got him by the gooses on.
This is not going to be good. Hard shot to the midsection. Drops Bret the Hitman Hart to the floor.
Brock Lesnar steps in, steps out, restarts the count again. Looks like he wants to beat up on him a little bit more. Look at this. Chicken wing suplex. Sends him flying about 10 feet. Brock Lesnar showing off that power again, and Bret the Hitman Hart starting to look like he's going to take a little bit of a beating here.
Wouldn't be the first time either. Remember Rob Torres?
Yeah, Rob Torres. Rob Torres in his RWL debut. He beat Bret the Hitman Hart so bad. There was blood. Bret the Hitman Hart was a horrible mess. He got bloodied up by Rob Torres so bad. We still talking about it today. Man, what was that?
That was 2013.
Man. Well, here's hoping that does not happen to Bret the Hitman Hart tonight. Brock Lesnar rounds him up, slams him head first into the lip of the apron. The referee continuing to count. The Hitman rounded up by Lesnar, rolled back inside the ring. Man. Okay. Here we go. Clothesline from Bret the Hitman Hart takes Lesnar down. There's another one. Takes him down to the floor. Well, this one's kind of at an impasse. A little bit of a Mexican standoff between these guys.
The Hitman misses his move, and that's not going to be good for him.
Lesnar whips him to the ropes. Ducks under. Ooh, hard shot to the midsection of Bret the Hitman Hart. The Hitman rounded up over the shoulder. He counters it. Inverted DDT. Lesnar back up on his feet pretty quick. The Hitman whips him into the corner. Lesnar counters, finds his way out of the corner. Oh, man, what a nasty toss from Brock Lesnar. Just hurled him across like a damn medicine ball.
Brock Lesnar back with the upper hand in this matchup, and it's been a tussle so far. I say Bret the Hitman Hart putting in the usual effort. Now Lesnar's got this submission laid in.
The referee keeping an eye on it. Bret the Hitman Hart gets the leg loose, rolls out of the situation. Lucky him. Lesnar tags him with a shot, whips him back into the corner again, misses, but he got hung up. That ain't gonna be good. Bret the Hitman Hart exploiting that mistake with a boot to the throat of Brock Lesnar. Lesnar rounded up by the Hitman, a nasty little corkscrew neckbreaker. The Hitman takes a running shot, and there we go. Crossbody through the ropes, takes Lesnar down on the outside. The referee already counting. Brock Lesnar swings and gets blocked. There's a belly-to-belly slam to Bret the Hitman Hart. The Hitman catches the knee to the midsection. Lesnar drops him into the ring steps.
And it's gotten nasty. Oh, man, on the outside, it always gets nasty.
Yeah, especially when you got guys like this. Brock Lesnar really starting to show out here. Bret the Hitman Hart hurled to the other side. As Lesnar makes his way back inside. Oh, man. Bret ain't moving.
Not an inch. Referee looking in. Oh, he's all right. He's going to make it. He's fine.
Brock Lesnar rolls to the outside right after him, starts the count all over again. He's got him by the throat one more time. Here comes another hard shot to the midsection. Oh, man.
The Hitman goes down hard. He was just recovering. Lesnar's going back out and starting the count all over again.
Oh, I guess he changed his mind on that one. Everybody back inside the ring, and Brock Lesnar rounds him up for a bear hug right out of the gate. Bret the Hitman Hart in some trouble here. Been in trouble for a little while now. Brock Lesnar starting to press the advantage. And the Hitman's going to have to do something. He gets loose from the hold. He clotheslines Brock Lesnar, takes him down to the canvas, clothesline, and shot to the back of the head. Lesnar counters with a shot to the midsection, gets a hold on Bret the Hitman Hart, has him up over the shoulders, takes a little walk with him to the corner. Snake eyes head first into the turnbuckles, down into a seated position goes Bret the Hitman Hart. He counters with a kick, gets himself out of the corner, charges, misses the crossbody. Brock Lesnar rounds him up. There's a set of shots. Down goes the Hitman again.
Brock Lesnar really starting to swing with those moves, those strikes. He's just battering Bret the Hitman Hart.
Oh, here's a little submission move. This is unique. He's got him hung up pretty good. There, a little kick to the head, though. Bret the Hitman Hart found his way out of that one. Brock Lesnar whips him to the ropes, has him up for the bear hug. Bret the Hitman Hart puts on the brakes. And counter. The Hitman takes him down. He's setting him up for the sharpshooter. A little bit too close to the ropes. Yep, that's exactly what did happen. Gonna have to start all over again, the Hitman. Almost had the sharpshooter, but too close to the ropes. And Brock Lesnar saved by those ropes.
Well, Bret the Hitman Hart in the meantime, putting the boost to Brock Lesnar.
Drags him towards center, covers, hooks the leg. 1, 2, up. Brock Lesnar refusing to give up. Nasty shot to the head from Bret the Hitman Hart. Lesnar counters both boots to the chest of the Hitman. He rolls to the outside. Brock Lesnar up on the turnbuckle. The ref counting. Bret got to... Oh, man. That was a bad one. Shoulder tackle from 10 feet up, and Bret the Hitman Hart counters with both boots, gets himself stood up again. I don't believe it. Man, he's running on pure adrenaline. Something's going on.
Brock Lesnar presently at a disadvantage.
Corkscrew neckbreaker again. Looks like maybe Brock Lesnar's starting to slow down a little bit. The Hitman being countered again with more shots to the midsection by Lesnar. Lesnar gets a hold on him. Chicken wing suplex. Bret the Hitman Hart goes flying across town. This ain't good. Brock Lesnar smelling blood in the water here. Takes him down into that lock, the Kimura lock. Bret the Hitman Hart in big trouble. The Kimura lock snagged in here by Brock Lesnar. Bret the Hitman Hart could tap. Nope, doesn't look like he's going to tap. He's trying to fight his way out. Son of a gun, he did it. Bret the Hitman Hart catches a kitchen sink knee to the gut. And a stomp to the face from Brock Lesnar. The Hitman takes him down to the canvas. Delivers a stomp, a knee to the back. A stomp to the back. You better lay in that sharpshooter now while he's got the chance. Slam face first into the canvas by Brock Lesnar. Lesnar beating his head into the canvas again. The Hitman rounded up by Brock Lesnar. He's got him by the throat. Winds it up and, oh man, he's going to lose his lunch after a few more of those. Brock Lesnar just urging Bret the Hitman to get back up so he can take him down again. There's an arm snap. Oh, Bret the Hitman Hart is losing control of this one. Hot, quick, and in a hurry. Brock Lesnar rounds him up. Fisherman Buster. Man. Lesnar rounds up the Hitman again. The Hitman with the upper hand. Quick, he gets countered again. Brock Lesnar countered by the Hitman. Swing and a miss. Bret tags him with a shot. Winds him up into, oh, look at this, an abdominal stretch center ring. A little modified with the leg stretch added onto it. The referee keeping an eye on it. Brock Lesnar being stretched by the Hitman. We've got less than 3.5 minutes to go, Don. Well, something's got to go sooner or later. I don't think the fans want to see another time limit draw. Well, I sure as hell don't. Brock Lesnar finds his way out of the submission, rounds up Bret the Hitman Hart over the shoulders. Oh, he was going to set him up for the F5, but Bret the Hitman Hart counters. Counters again. Clothesline over the top rope. Out onto the floor goes Brock Lesnar. Well, damn. Oh, okay. Only 3 minutes left to go. Hard kick to the back from the Hitman. A stomp to Brock Lesnar. A stomp to the shoulder. Bret the Hitman Hart playing it up for the fans in the front row. Lesnar in trouble again on the outside. The referee counting as the Hitman starts to lay into him. And time is definitely running out. Brock Lesnar in trouble on the outside. Bret the Hitman Hart finally turning it around. Lesnar quickly back up again. Set of driving knees into the midsection of the Hitman. The Hitman counters with a kick, gets himself back, stood up again. Oh, man. This one's getting down to the wire. Bret the Hitman Hart takes himself back inside. Brock Lesnar laid out. Oh, he's going to start that count again. This is so unnecessary. They should just wrap this one up and take it on home. Well, someone should. Bret the Hitman Hart with Brock Lesnar back in the ring. There's a knee to the midsection. A counter kick from the Hitman. Crossbody out of no place takes Lesnar down to the canvas. Man, less than 2 minutes to go here, Don. Bret the Hitman Hart drags him rings towards center. Lesnar back up again. Lesnar taken down by the Hitman, and here we go again. He's setting up the sharpshooter, and he's got it locked in. Lesnar, look at this. Almost immediately files his way out of the sharpshooter. Shut up. The Hitman countered into a back body drop by Brock Lesnar. Lesnar covers and hooks the leg here. 1, 2, 3. Well, damn, he just about wore him out. Brock Lesnar picking up an upset win over Bret the Hitman Hart. Shut up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the time of the match, 13 minutes and 47 seconds. Your winner by pinfall, Brock Lesnar.
Oh, no jury in America would convict based on this evidence, Tex. Brock Lesnar with a clean win over Bret the Hitman Hart. You can't dispute it. It was a clean win. Bret the Hitman Hart certainly putting in an A+ effort as usual, but Brock Lesnar, just a little bit too much. And like you, Tex, I'm wondering where it's going to lead in the future.
All remains to be seen, Dandy Don, but I'm sure we'll all find out. And when we do, we'll bring it to you right here on YouTube.
That we will, Tex, and that concludes this edition of RWL Southwest Championship Wrestling as always. Thank you for being part of the show, and thanks for supporting RWL's content. Coming up this Saturday, August the 8th, will be RWL Snarl with Mr. Lynch here and his crew. For all of us here at RWL Wrestling, I've been Don Hickson. Thanks, good night, we'll see you next time at ringside. Good night, everybody.
Don't forget, Snarl, Saturday, August 8th. Be there or be square.